All right, folks, welcome back to the Rational Red channel. My name is Michael. Today is Friday, the 16th of Jan. What a surprise. The only thing really to talk about this morning is the discourse online, and that is just more negativity from ex-players as pundits. It's just what are we doing here, guys? Seriously, why? Just what are we doing? We're already in a really difficult, precarious situation. We've got a terrible situation going on with the owners. We've just sacked another manager. We've got an interim coming in with no proper Premier League experience. And now we've got ex-players the day before a derby just mocking one of our defenders for no reason. I mean, what are we doing here? Like, what are we doing? If this is the club that you apparently love so much and you want to see it get back to the top, would it not make more sense to use your platform to put some confidence and positivity into them and get them G'd up and get them rallied up and get them prepared for a game? And instead, you make out that Haaland's going to pick him up like a fucking statue and throw him in the goal. I mean, what are we doing? I wouldn't mind as well, but the stats have come out that have shown that in the last 5 or 6 games of Haaland, with Martinez, Haaland hasn't even scored. So it's like the criticism isn't even warranted. It makes no sense. But this is the problem. It's like, why are they creating this culture of like criticism and opinions are A, absolutely warranted, and they are B, everyone's right. Everybody can make critical opinions, especially when it's just and warranted. You can see if you're on as why has he done that? He's not putting the effort in. They get like we as fans invest money and time into this game. They get paid a tremendous amount of money. We expect a level of effort. We expect certain standards as to what they put on the pitch. That is always going to be okay to call out. But what's not all right to call out is just blatant belittling of your own players. It's almost like bullying via your podcast studio. I mean, I'm not some soft ass. I'm not like, like fuck off. I'm not bothered about that shit. But I'm calling it out for what it is. It serves no purpose other than just trying to tear down a team that already has confidence in tatters. And I'm just like, what are we doing here? What is the purpose of this? And all you have to do is look online, and every single person is like, what? Why? Fed up of it. And have you ever heard Ian Wright or Keown on Talksport, on Stick to Football, or whatever, or any other top club with ex-players go online, go into a podcast studio and just talk shit about the club or the players, or whatever? It's always us. Manchester United is already a media circus. Whether it's every single day in the news, there is something going on. Whether it's leaks from the dressing room, whether it's players liking posts, disrespecting managers. I mean, it's fucking so petulant. We are one of the biggest clubs in the world, and we're an embarrassment. And part of that embarrassment is from the people in the club making it an embarrassment. Players act in a certain petulant way. And then we've got ex-players from the outside that don't use their platforms to encourage, make this an attractive place to try and come to, be positive, and don't care that the football has been shit and things have been difficult. You're allowed to call that for what it is. But there's a line where it's like, okay, but we kind of need to like add some sort of sprinkle on there because it's not always going to be like this. Otherwise, we're going to get to a point now where I'm not surprised that some players might not want to come to us because they all sit there and be like, mate, like even your own ex-players are toxic as fuck. So a lot of fans online are a problem. But when your own ex-players are using their platforms to be toxic as well, it's like, I don't want to go to that place. Fuck that. It's desperately frustrating. And like I say, not some soft ass that says you can't have critical opinions. Of course you can. But this, as a lot of people have become aware, has gone way beyond that. This is not just critical opinions. It's just getting in all the time, just bang, bang, bang. It's like, have a fucking day off, mate. Have a day off and keep it balanced because the level of criticism a lot of our players get, the same level is not applied to other people who are doing worse. And we always use the same example. Look at Wirtz at Liverpool. Sesko cost less, played less, and yet had more GAs than Wirtz. But who's the one person that got fucking hyper-analysed every single week? He needs to do better. He's not worth the money. Waste the money. Haaland 2.0. Meanwhile, Wirtz is there skipping along, doing naff all, and he's getting a free pass from the media. It's like, and these ex-Man United players are choosing to smash in on Sesko, who he plays for the team that they apparently love and support, and they're choosing to go in on him as a problem, as opposed to a player from their rival. It's like, I just, I just don't get it. It's just the maddest, ridiculous thing. Breathe, breathe. Okay, so What's it going on here now? Why is it not saying recording? Oh, we are recording. Right, so it's just desperately frustrating. Like, just add something of value. Like, be critical, fine, but keep it, like, add some substance to it. It's just bang, 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 negative, negative, negative. Like, they don't give you a chance. They just don't give us a chance. And I'm concerned that despite all the current drama that's going on, it's bad enough. We've got a bunch of ex-players who are just adding fuel to the fire. Manchester United, right now, is one of those places where if it was a career opportunity, you'd dodge it like the plague. I mean, you really would. There's so many facets to it which make it the least attractive place to go to. You'd at least hope you've got ex-players using their platforms to G players on, to get some motivation going, whatever. I'm not asking them to pretend to be positive when it's shit. I'm not saying that. But be realistic. Like, you don't have to go a certain way. You can draw a line under it after a certain point. But it's just relentless. And it's like, I'm done with it. And like I say, you never hear any other players from any other top club do the same thing. It's always Man United. Always. Anyway, right. So, turns out Ben Jacobs was on the football terrace. It looks like in the last 24 hours, Manchester United have held talks with a secret midfielder. It would be a loan until the end of the season. He has Premier League experience and is currently playing outside of England. Well, my spidey sense would say that would be Ruben Neves, but time will tell. But look, I think the thing is, I would love to see us strengthen the midfield with the right appointment. I know the idea was we're not going to spend any money. We're going to defer that money to summer. We can go for our targets. But that isn't a cast iron guarantee it's going to happen. I mean, what if the target... Look, but right now, we don't even know who the manager is going to be in the summer. You can buy players now, which we desperately need. But what if these players don't fit the profile of the manager that they get in the summer? So now they're a bad signing. There's so much mismanagement that's creating a knock-on effect. So we just don't really know what's going to happen. But when it gets to summer, depending on where we finish in the table, depending on who that new manager is, it's going to have a knock-on effect as to whether these players are going to want to come to us or not. So if they can strengthen correctly, they have to do it, because we've just now seen that City have decided to go for Mark Gahey, and it's at the final stages. Looks like it's going to get over the line. And it is frustrating that you sit here and you're like, you want to get the best and you want to be the best and you've got these targets, and yet there's no active plan that seems to be on the agenda all the time. It feels like the reactionary, as opposed to having a formula plan to say, right, okay, we're going to get this manager if this goes this way, get this player in, line him up for January, we need to strengthen this. But it's just like, oh, we'll just wait and see what happens. Meanwhile, City, second, just on it, winners mentality, bang, get them in because it might help us win the league. Get him in, bang, it'll help us win the league. Just on it all the time. And you're just sitting there, you think, that is why they're winning trophies left, right and centre. I know they're all tainted about the 115 and stuff, but forget that for a second. We're just talking about the general winning culture that's over there. They are relentless with it. And it's so frustrating that we're sitting there just watching by the wayside, just bad decision. I don't want to be negative. I'm sorry, I don't want to come across as like I'm just an uber negative post. I'm just frustrated like the rest of us, because I feel so powerless as to, coasting through the years and just having to just drudge along with what's been done. And it's like, man, it's so disappointing, isn't it? It really is. And then obviously you see your neighbours and everyone else around you strengthening, and they're doing their bit because they want to see them winning. And then what are we doing? We're debating whether we should maybe get a midfielder in January. Like, what are we doing, guys? What the hell? I mean, anyway, Bosnich did an interesting interview that I was looking at this morning. He basically, let me find it. He basically
years
said,
now. We're talking 13 years.
Yeah.
13 years now of this type of up-down turmoil. Me personally, I would get away. We hear about the DNA. Get away from the DNA.
Also, took Liverpool 30 years to get back into winning ways again. And if you compare that same time frame, we're practically halfway through it. And how much did we mock? Oh, it took you 30 years, whatever. And yet we're actually nearly halfway through our own 30 years. How frightening is that?
Over. Get away from the past, or else you're just going to be forever living in it. Move forward. Go and get somebody fresh ideas with no connection to the past.
Well,
no problem to respect. Yeah, I know, but there's still people hanging around. You see pictures of the ex-manager. You see pictures of ex-players. this, that. Just get away from all that and go forward. The fans don't care about that anymore. They respect it, they love it, as well, whatever, great. But it's right here, right now. You know, and they've got Manchester City coming up now this weekend. You know, this is a huge game. Who's going to be the permanent manager? Time to put the stuff on the table.
Yeah, he's right. I mean, we just, you know, just as usual in it, there's no succession planning. We don't know what we're doing. They're saying Nagelsmann apparently now is well into the frame. De Zerbi's name seems to have dropped off. Ancelotti's name seems to have dropped off. But I did a video about this yesterday. A lot of these managers are not yes men. They're serial winners at the highest level. They are not going to come in and be told what they need to do. They're going to come in with their philosophy, their ideas, and be expected to be allowed to see it through. They don't want to be micromanaged by a Jason Wilcox or whoever else. So they're going to have to really think about how they do things going forward, because if they want best in class, then they're not going to get a yes man. And if they're not going to get a yes man, that means they're going to have to change their own tact. So we'll see what happens. But, you know, obviously right now the most important thing is getting behind Carrick. Andy Mitten basically said that there's a lot of positivity around the training ground. It feels fresh, it feels vibrant, things are good. It's probably a positive spin. I don't care. I'd rather hear that than the opposite. So I'm all for it. And, you know, at the end of the day, the Ruben Amorim era is well and truly over. The book is closed and we move forward. And there's no point looking backwards about what could have been. It's not, and it's done. Right now, Michael Carrick, as a person, I really, really like. And I really hope that with what he wants to do, with his ambitions and a bit of time, that it really will come right. And we could have a blinder of a rest of the season. I think really need to try and break those dark clouds that are over Old Trafford, get some wins under our belt. It'll just excite everybody that so much more, because we're all suffering at the moment. But some good wins. If we win against City tomorrow, I've said this a couple of days ago, that will galvanise the squad in ways you could not comprehend. It will be a massive, massive, massive win. And I was watching a video, was on at Old Trafford a couple of years ago, and we beat them 2-1. And we were just going insane. That feeling, man, you could bottle it and sell it for millions. It was just incredible. And I just sincerely hope come tomorrow that we at least give a valiant effort. If we don't win, we don't win. But right, I feel like what we need to now not do is just use tomorrow's result, if it doesn't go our way, as another example to just like, oh, it's terrible, everything's shit. We know it's shit. A loss tomorrow is not going to cement that. We already know. But what we really want to see is just the squad rejuvenated, regalvanised, and just getting on with it. And we have to get behind them, as obviously we always do. But just think positive and just try and take this game for what it is. And then obviously after that, we're going to Arsenal. Because look, you know, things are turbulent at the moment. Things aren't great. But what was that saying? The wrestler, Scott, what was his name now? Scott Hall, Razor Ramon, he said, I can't remember. Well, anyway, there was a phrase, you know, bad times don't last, but bad guys do. That's not quite relevant, is it? But no, it's true that bad times don't last. They will get better. I know it feels like we're saying this for 13 years. But it won't last forever. Things will improve, but we just got to deal with the here and now. So look, I'm going to leave it there. There's not a great deal more what I talk about because I just feel dead frustrated. But I will do another video tomorrow in preparation for the football match and up the Reds.